Student loans are coming back, y'all. What do you need to do to prepare? Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla, and we are going to be talking about how the student loan debt forbearance is going to be ending in just a couple of months. Let me start by saying that this is separate from the student loan debt cancellation. So that is actually still with the Supreme Court. They'll probably be coming up with a decision or announcing a decision at some point this month in June, maybe into July, but that is separate. So that actually could still happen, but as of right now, we do not know. Honestly, I think it is unlikely. I'm not expecting it to happen, but I of course do not know. However, federal student loans have been in forbearance and at 0% interest, meaning nobody's had to pay anything on federal student loans since March of 2020. And you know, when I was planning this video out and just thinking about it, that's a really long time. And it's so crazy because I started this channel in December of 2019, and then obviously COVID came around and the pause started in a few months after I started this YouTube channel. And looking back, that's just a really long time, number one. Number two, that went so fast, like over 3 years ago, that it doesn't feel like it's been that long. But I will say that for myself and for many people, this has significantly helped us on our journey. I would have to go back and dig into my files, look at my taxes to see how much interest I was paying on my student loans before this forbearance. But I do know it was thousands, like at least 3,000 plus each year. And obviously, if this pause didn't happen, that would have continued. I would have paid it down and made progress. I would have had it paid off by now. But this created a really unique opportunity for myself and many other people to either focus on other debts, prioritize those, things with high interest, your car payments, anything like that, and pay those off, and or start saving for our student loan debt and actually making money off of that debt by saving it in high yield savings accounts. However, that's not the point of this video, and I will talk about my journey, my experience, how much interest I gained throughout that pause when I actually paid down my student loan debt. But unfortunately, a lot of people did not do what I just went over. Some people actually went into further debt. I saw an article recently how this made people go into further debt because they felt like they had more money to spend since they didn't have that student loan debt payment to focus on. There were also some people who ended up in tough financial situations because of the pandemic or because of recent layoffs. As I said, I think this did create a really unique, beneficial opportunity for a lot of people. But I am aware that there are also another group of people that are not ready to start making these payments. So this is really for y'all. So they are going to be coming back in August. It looks like August 29th is when the interest is going to begin accruing on our student loan debt, August 29th, August 30th or so. From my understanding, you will receive your billing statement or notice 21 days before your payment is due. So for at least 3 weeks, you should be aware of how much you need to pay come your due date. And I want to run through a few things that you can do to prepare and make sure you are ready to start making those payments. So the first thing is to log into your accounts. If you have no clue who your lender is, either you just never logged in to begin with and you just don't know, maybe you graduated during the forbearance, or it's possible that it was switched to a different lender. That was the case for myself. I used to have Navient, I never can remember how to pronounce it, and that switched over to Aidvantage, so I had to make sure to log into Aidvantage. If you have no clue where your student loan debt is being held, who it is with, then definitely log on to studentaid.gov and you can get some answers there. So that is step number one. Make sure that you can access your account. If you need to reset your password, if you need to update your contact information, maybe your phone number changed or your address changed, be sure that that is all set and ready to go. If for any reason you feel like you need to contact customer support with your lender, do that as soon as possible. So maybe you had requested a refund when the cancellation was announced and you haven't received that, or maybe you just are confused about something that you're seeing in your account. you can't find your account for whatever reason and you need to contact somebody, do that as soon as possible because it's going to start getting busy, just like we saw back in September of 2022 after the cancellation was announced. There were very long hold times. Some people were not able to get in contact with their lenders just because they were piled with tons and tons of people calling. So the sooner you get ahead of that, get ahead of the crowd, then the better prepared you will be. Number 2, this is going to be after you have logged into your account successfully. If you had Autopay set up previously, you may want to set that up again. So when I logged into mine, I noticed that I had to confirm if I wanted to continue Autopay. Now this is important because with student loan debt payments, if you do enroll in Autopay, they lower the interest rate on your student loans. It's a very small percentage of savings, I think like 0.5, I honestly can't remember, but that's still very helpful. And if you had that before, you definitely will want that again. I know this is going to depend on your situation. So there's going to be some people who are going to make a lump sum payment and be completely student loan debt free. So you don't have to worry about that. That is very, very exciting and congratulations to you. But if you're somebody who is going to have payments every single month, then you do want to make sure you knock down that rate and enroll in Autopay. Number 3, also while you are logged in, you may want to choose a new payment plan. Now this one is probably better to do closer to your due date so you can see how much you actually have to pay each month, your minimum payment. But if you're expecting or you see your minimum payment is a much higher amount than you can afford, then definitely look into other payment options. So you can do an income-driven repayment plan. This is typically going to stretch out your payments. Instead of a 10-year plan, it's going to bump it up to 25, which is a very long time. And if you do that, I suggest trying to put as much extra to your student loans if you can, so you pay it off much faster than 25 years. But that is going to lower your minimum payment. So you may be in a situation where currently it says you owe $400 per month, and then once you switch to one of the income-driven repayment plans, you can get it down to 100 or maybe even less than that. I also noticed that you can now self-report your income. You don't have to submit any official documentation. You do still want to be honest because they may find out what your income actually is. If you are lying about it, then I don't really know what the repercussions are. So yes, do still be honest, but you can go in there and put in your income, and assuming that you have a lower income, they will adjust your minimum payment. Number 4, this one applies to those of you who have cash savings and you either have all of the amount saved up to pay off your student loans or a big chunk. Wherever your money is currently being saved, make sure you understand the transfer process. If you have $20,000 sitting in a savings account, how do you get that money out? And are you facing any difficulties with that? Are they going to make a big deal about a big transfer? How long is that transfer going to take? So once the payments resume, if you want to pay that off as soon as possible so that you don't pay any interest, how far in advance do you need to make that transfer? For most people, that will probably be about 2 to 4 days for it to hit your bank account, and then you can make your payment. And then make sure whichever savings account you are using that you have enough money still in there that you're not going to be facing any fees. I know that there are fees for some savings accounts if you don't have a minimum balance. That's not a problem with Marcus by Goldman Sachs. That's why I really, really like them. Same with, I think, like Ally Bank and stuff. But with Marcus, you shouldn't have to worry about any of these things. You can make a big transfer. It should come to your bank account within a couple of days, and you do not have a minimum balance requirement. However, y'all know that I open multiple savings accounts, and I do have one savings account. This one is with Citi, and it requires me to have a $1,500 minimum balance. Otherwise, I would pay a fee. So if that's the case, I would move some money around right now so that you are ready to go by the time payments resume. And number 5, this is really for those of you who are not prepared, who have no savings, who have not been budgeting, who have not been improving their finances. I hope that's not y'all watching this, but unfortunately that is the case for some people. Start saving, start budgeting, make a plan. Try your best to at least have, 1 to 2 months of your student loan debt payments set aside. Maybe over the next couple of months, you can hustle and save up a couple thousand to a few $1,000s, and then you can make a lump sum payment on your highest interest student loan debt. definitely start taking some action now. You don't want to have to start making those payments and then struggle with your finances in other areas, or if you end up losing your job, which of course I don't want that to happen, but if something happens, you just really want to be prepared and not get yourself in a sticky situation. Luckily with student loans, you can defer them and you should be okay. This is why I typically do not suggest for people to consolidate their federal student loans, because you lose the benefits that come with federal student loans. So for most people, I don't suggest that. If you're thinking of doing that, I would wait. But yeah, otherwise prepare as best as you can. If you need help with accountability or learning how to save, learning how to budget, definitely check out my one-on-one sessions. It's always linked in my description box. But the good news is we do have a date now. We know that they're actually coming back. I think this whole process, even though it's been great to have this pause on payments, it has been annoying and inconvenient, because every 6 months or so, they're like, are you gonna have to pay? Are you gonna have to pay? Oh, no, you don't, you're fine. And then the same thing 6 months later. And it's just this annoying game that we're playing and shuffle of information that just keeps on changing. So I'm pretty positive, like 99% sure that this time they are for real. These payments are coming back. It is not going to be extended any further. Like I said, I don't know about the cancellation yet. We will just have to wait and see on that one. But now you can prepare and make a plan for August 2023 to start paying back those student loans. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments. I will try my best to answer. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports my channel, and I'll see you in my next one.